Minasan konnichiwa, this is Matt Okahara from the Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps, and today we're going to look at preserving feudal-era matchlock guns at Matsumoto Castle. Japanese matchlock guns, known as Hinawaju, or sometimes as Tanegashima after the island where they first acquired from Portuguese traders, represent an important chapter in Japan's history. They played a pivotal role in the late feudal period, contributing to significant battles and the changes in warfare at the time. Preserving them allows us to remember and learn about this crucial era of history. Matsumoto Castle has a large collection of feudal-era firearms known as the akahane collection, and luckily, a lot of these weapons are still in firing and display condition, meaning that we can share our research and knowledge with the public when they come to visit us at the castle or during a display. The akahane collection also includes some rather unique pieces, such as weapons from the Bolshin War, the Second World War, and even a crossbow, which is from the feudal era. Firearms, such as the Hinawaju, are an integral part of Japan's cultural heritage. They symbolise the period when Japan was exposed to foreign influences for the first time, such as when the Portuguese traders arrived and brought gun technology with them. Preserving these guns helps maintain a connection to Japan's past and its initial interactions with the wider world. Because of this, these historical firearms serve as a valuable educational tool for historians, researchers, and the general public. They offer insight into the technological advancements of the time, as well as the strategies and tactics employed in feudal warfare. By preserving them, Matsumoto Castle provides a window into the past. Completed in 1593, Matsumoto Castle is one of the oldest castles still standing in Japan. It is also a popular tourist destination. The presence of well-preserved matchlock guns adds to the visitor experience by showcasing tangible pieces of history. This not only attracts tourists, but also, more importantly, fosters a deeper appreciation for the cultural and historical significance of the castle and feudal history. As we look after these artifacts, we make notes about everything that we have done. The craftsmanship involved in making these guns is an art form in itself. Preserving them ensures that traditional gunsmithing techniques and knowledge are passed down through the generations, maintaining the skills required to replicate and repair these historical weapons. It would also be accurate to say that these matchlock guns are not just standalone artifacts, but they're part of the broader historical context of feudal Japan. Their preservation at Matsumoto Castle allows for a holistic understanding of the castle's history and its role in the regional and national conflicts of the feudal era. And whilst Matsumoto Castle was never attacked, samurai from the domain were involved in many conflicts during the feudal era. The matchlock guns that they used fundamentally changed the dynamics of warfare in Japan. They led to shifts in battle strategies, fortifications such as Matsumoto Castle, and a shift in tactics. By preserving these guns, Matsumoto Castle serves as a living history lesson, allowing visitors to understand the challenges and strategies employed during the feudal era. The preservation of these firearms is also important for the inspiration for art and culture. Historical artifacts like Hinawaju often inspire various forms of art, literature, and cultural expression. They have been featured in films, novels, and in art, as well as exhibitions both in Japan and abroad. They are a symbol of innovation. The introduction of firearms like the Hinawaju marked a period of technological innovation in Japan. These guns were among the earliest firearms used, although there were other types that had been used previously. Preserving them highlights Japan's ability to adapt and innovate when exposed to foreign influences.
日本の文化である火縄銃を整備するということが松本城である火縄銃を大切するということもありますし、後世に残していくためにも整備というのが必要かなというふうに思います。
Preserving the feudal-era matchlocks at Matsumoto Castle is not only about safeguarding historical artifacts, but also about maintaining Japan's cultural identity, educating future generations, and offering a richer experience to visitors, whilst contributing to the preservation of the traditional craftsmanship involved in their construction. However, the akahane collection is such a vast collection that we can't possibly put all of them on display. The vast majority of the collection, however, is not on public display. Most of the akahane collection is kept in a climate-controlled vault, somewhere secret underneath the city. Many of these hinawaju are not in firing condition, and even more of them are in such delicate state that they could not possibly even be put on display either. However, in order to preserve these weapons, the team regularly inspect them, and as such, where possible, undertake minor repair work, or at the very least, getting rid of any signs of obvious damage that could deteriorate the weapon even further. The collection also has firearms that aren't entirely relevant to Matsumoto Castle or the feudal era. Weapons from the imperial era, such as revolvers and modern types of rifle, also feature in the collection, but are not entirely relevant to Matsumoto Castle, and as such, they aren't put on display. But they are still important to Japan and important to Matsumoto. These firearms originated from foreign countries and emphasised the global nature of the weapons trade and the cultural exchange that happened during the feudal era and thereafter. Preserving these guns can be a complex task due to their age and the materials. It showcases the dedication and expertise of some of our gunners and conservationists who work tirelessly to ensure that these historical treasures endure for the future. One part of the akahane collection that isn't on public display is a feudal era crossbow, known as a ya or yumiya. They played a significant role in warfare during the feudal era. Whilst traditional bows were more common, crossbows were sometimes favoured for certain situations because of the advantages that they offered. Crossbows were introduced to Japan from China in around the 7th century. They were highly valued for their ease of use and the ability to penetrate armour, making them effective against heavily armoured targets such as samurai. Unlike traditional bows that required a amount of strength and training to use, crossbows could be operated with less skill, making them more accessible to a broader range of soldiers in different situations. Sometimes during battle, specialised units of crossbowmen were formed to provide range support and to counter enemy cavalry charges. These crossbow units were often used in conjunction with archers and spearmen to create a well-rounded defensive formation. Despite their advantages, the popularity of crossbows in Japan declined over time. The shogunate, established in the early 17th century, imposed strict gun controls, and that included crossbows, meaning they were less accessible to people. And by the end of the feudal period in the 19th century, crossbows had largely disappeared from the battlefield, becoming more a relic or ceremonial item than a practical weapon of war. One of the major advantages of being proficient in the care and preservation of feudal-era matchlock guns is that we get to take them out on public display. Set in the backdrop of Matsumoto Castle, our gunnery demonstrations are one of the most popular and famous in Japan. Along with preserving physical assets, reenactments provide a tangible and engaging way to preserve Japan's heritage. It allows people to connect with the past and appreciate the cultural significance of samurai traditions and martial arts such as Hojutsu. It also helps preserve and pass down the skills and techniques of samurai warfare. By practicing and demonstrating these skills, martial artists and enthusiasts ensure that ancient combat methods continue to be practiced and understood. For many people in Japan, samurai history is a source of pride and identity. Participating or witnessing these reenactments can strengthen their connection to the heritage of the country or to Matsumoto in particular. The preservation of feudal assets and the skills used during the samurai era serves as a bridge between the past and the present, offering educational, cultural, and recreational benefits. They contribute to the preservation of Japan's cultural heritage and provide opportunities for people to appreciate and learn from the traditions of the samurai. And if you want to learn more, you can find us at www.gunsamurai.com.